I just know Idaho's the land of the hoes and the potatoes.
What a
Just
terrible,
kidding.
terrible thing to say. What a terrible thing to say. And obviously, you're not talking about me because
No,
yo soy
that
un,
would be so
yo soy un
mean.
santo.
Oh, yes.
Here we go. There we go. You're bobbing your head a little bit. There we go. Now you're getting into it. This is the 4th episode of Roddy Radio, a subsidiary of Roddy TV. It's an audio-only podcast stemming from the need for everybody to hear my voice in English. My very much broken English, because English is my second language. But people kept begging and begging and begging for this show, so I'm finally getting it done. This is episode 4 so far. All 4 guests have grooved to this beat with an unauthorized sample, so we'll see how long we get away with that. But today on the 4th episode, this is the first episode I don't do with somebody in person, and this is the first episode I don't do with someone that I've known for over a decade. Everyone else, episode 1, I've known him since he was a child. Episode 2, I've known him for about 20 years or so. And episode 3, I've known him for 30 years. This person I've known for about, a month, 2 months? And I don't know how that even happened. But I'm glad it did, and we're here, and this is perfect timing. Her name is Sam, and she is figuring out epilepsy on pretty much all socials. Is that correct? Would you say that's
Yes.
fair? All socials? Yeah. MySpace and everything?
Yes, absolutely. Especially MySpace.
It's MySpace. MySpace is the shit.
Yes.
And so thank you for agreeing to do this. And
thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And so let's go ahead and get going. Of course, I do want you to eventually be able to be here in person so you can go on Alta Red podcast and actually be in studio. It's a whole different ball game when that happens, and I think you'll be ready from here until whenever you can finally make it up to the studio. Then
when it gets warm,
yeah,
and it's not snowing in Idaho.
I know. You're from the land of the sun, and I'm from the land of
what'd you say?
Hose and potatoes. Well, I don't know where the hoes are at, but trust me, I've looked, and all I come up with is potatoes. So, but yeah, when you come up here, something we spoke about is having you up, of course, on that show, and it's a show in Spanish. It's
my Spanish isn't the best,
exactly.
Though, so forgive me for that.
When I first, and this is an assumption I've made with more and more people from down south. I just assume anybody from either California or Texas or any state that was actually a Mexican state knows Spanish. But as it turns out, all of you guys kind of suck at it, and all of us up here in the land of hose and potatoes bordering Canada have much better Spanish than most people down there.
Yes.
From the small sample of people I can't get ahead of myself. I don't want, don't cancel me.
I'm not a good representation of people who can speak Spanish.
But that's fine. I mean, it doesn't make you any less Mexican because Spanish is a European language anyway. So
yeah.
So there's that. But I do want to do something. I want to start out with something a little warm up here, getting you ready for Alta Red. I decided to do this with something we've done before, just over messaging. We're gonna do the they call it the No Sabo Kid.
Oh.
So we're gonna go through 10 words here. I picked 10 words.
This is gonna be bad.
There's some that we've already gone over before, so some of this is just gonna be memory for you.
Memory,
which I know you have none of, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and get started, though. I'm gonna give you a word in English. You tell me how to say it in Spanish.
Oh my goodness.
You down?
Okay, I'll try. I'm gonna try my best.
All right. The first word is envelope.
Envelope. I have no idea.
You've never sent something in the mail?
I have, but
not in Spanish.
No. Envelope. I want to say letra, but
no, that's not even correct for what you think you're saying. Do you think letra means?
I told you this was going to be bad.
Do you think letra is a letter? Like a letter
Yeah.
that you write to someone? Like if I write you a
No,
letter?
like the alphabet.
Yeah, okay, yeah. See, okay. Well, at least you know that. So what's a letter? Like if
So
I write you a letter, what's that in Spanish?
I don't know.
Una carta. I mean, come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Y una carta la pones en un...
Envelope. I don't know.
En un sobre.
Oh, see.
All right. The next word is waste, as in like a waste of time or garbage.
Oh, I thought you meant like cintura, waist. And oh my gosh, it's so bad. I am like blanking out completely.
Desperdicio.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I would have never gotten
I mean,
that.
I'm sure there's other acceptable answers if you even tried. I mean, I just want to call you out and I want you to at least
I
try.
am trying. That's the sad part. It's just blank.
Okay. The next one is TV.
Televisión.
Good job.
Yay! 1 point for Sam.
1 point. You're good. The next one is... Where are we at here? Stapler.
Grafador or something. Right? No.
Por ahí va, but you're not... Still
How do you say it?
Engrapadora. With a
Oh.
P. Engrapadora.
I was close. That's like half a point.
I'd say maybe like a quarter of a point.
Okay.
So 1.25 points for you so far.
Yes.
Next one is skunk.
You know what I thought? Esconca. No, but you told me this one before, I see, and I don't remember.
Skunk.
It reminded me of that TikTok that I saw that they were like esconca.
Zorrillo.
Oh yeah. See, you said this one to me before, but I just.
Which is also funny because in Spanish, you know, if you want to insult a woman and she's kind of a whore, you can call her a zorra.
Really?
But that's a fox. Isn't that crazy how language works sometimes when you start thinking about it?
And they wonder why I can't speak Spanish.
Mouse.
Rata. That's rat, though.
No, yeah. Which are not God's creatures.
Yes, they are. Spiders
Rats
aren't.
Are disgusting.
This is a very heavy debate between us.
All right, let's go ahead and take a pause here. There was one night, a long time ago, we were on Main Street here in my town, and it was raining. It was a dark and stormy night, and this rat ran right past our feet, me and my cousin, and this fucking big ass rat, like it was big, and it just ran in between us, and so we decided to chase after it as one does, and it was really late, so there's nobody out, and the Main Street is really large here, and so we're running across the street, and I'm able to catch up enough to it to where I kick it right in its big fat greasy ass, and it flies and it flips over and it lands in this giant puddle, and then it just keeps on running. And that was a very proud moment. And you think it's mean.
That is so
despite
mean.
Rats being sent in directly from Satan himself.
No, that's spiders. You're getting it mixed up.
Spiders are cute.
No, they're not.
So let us know which side of the debate are you on? Pro rat or pro spider, or you hate both, or you love both, or you think both are God's creatures and still deserve the kick in the ass, I think. It's disgusting. But anyways, did you get it right or not? Mouse?
No, I didn't get it. I said rata.
You should. I think you can dig a little
Mouse. Let me think. It looks so bad right now.
Si es una rata, it's something. They're bigger, right? So what's something? Same animal, pretty much, except smaller.
Ratoncito.
Yeah, there you go. I'll give that to you.
Oh, I was right?
Yeah, un ratoncito. Yeah.
Aw, yay, see?
There you go. So what's that? Two and a quarter?
Yeah.
All right, carpet.
Carpeta.
Oh, you're completely wrong.
What? Nuh-uh.
Yeah, una carpeta is a folder, like on your computer, like...
Oh. It's not my fault. It's the people who taught me Spanish. So that would be my mom.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
dad doesn't speak
I
Spanish.
like that one because not everybody, but a lot of people say, "Oh, carpeta," and it's like, no. And parking is in parquear, and like, there's so many words. I mean, just what I sent you, right when I sent you the link for this Zoom. Y te dije, ya te envié el enlace, and you had no idea what the fuck I was saying. So I had to.
90% of the time when you speak to me in Spanish, I don't know what you're saying.
But that's like the correct words. Te envié el enlace. I sent you the link. So then I had to say, te mandé el link. Like, okay.
I have to be like, what? ¿Qué? What happened? What
So
are you talking about?
I don't
Like
know why
every
it's so
other
difficult.
sentence.
I'm sorry. Two
It's
different
not your
words.
fault.
Carpet is alfombra.
Oh, I've heard that word before.
I've heard that word before.
It's been said in my lifetime.
Microwave.
Man. Uh Miko. I don't yeah.
Y por ahí va, por ahí va. What's a wave?
Oh, I don't know. Mikorondia or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you also have to think. There's some words I can't even say. So I
Well, this isn't can you pronounce it. It's just you at least know what the word
well,
is.
how am I supposed to? I have it in my head. I don't know.
You say it again. Even if you say it all fucked
Mi
up, I'll give it to you.
Mikorondia? No, that's not right.
You're getting it almost right. Like if you say it fucked up, I'll give you the other 3/4 of the point you're lacking.
Okay. Mikor No. I don't know. Micoronia or something? No, that's not right.
A
What is
wave.
it?
Una onda. Microondas.
There you go.
There we go. I'll give you a half a point, so you still are at 3/4 of a point.
Can I get a full point since I don't have a microwave?
Do you not have a microwave?
We don't use one
Why not?
because
Because
radiation and
because of
all
your
that
health? Is that
bad
really
stuff.
why? I
It doesn't
know.
have to do with epilepsy, but like just we choose not to have a microwave.
Oh, okay. Well,
So I deserve that point, kind of.
yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. Yeah, because how are you going to know how to pronounce it? Like, you knew television because you have a television, probably, at your house.
No,
You don't have a television?
no, not in my new house. My dad's gonna bring one to me tomorrow.
Oh, but I mean, but you've lived with a television. It's not. It's not
In
a
my
choice.
lifetime, yeah.
It's not a choice to like not having a microwave is a choice. Not having
Yeah.
a TV is not a choice right now. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you want the point or not?
It's up to you. Do I deserve the point? I don't think so.
I'll give it to you. You're
Okay.
I'll,
Give me that pity point.
I'll give it to you. It's those eyes you're doing right now. Just so everybody knows, like again, this is I've said it every episode. This is all audio, but just so you all know, she's batting these big brown eyes at me, and what can I say?
Okay.
What can I say? I also told her not to get ready because it's just audio, and she comes up all dolled up. I mean,
Yes, with my stained sweater.
Are you wearing fucking heels?
No.
You look a little taller than usual. Last one is second last one, headphones.
Headphones. Oh wow. I'm like thinking of my daughter because she just asked for headphones.
And she asked you in Spanish?
Yeah.
You've mentioned before that your daughter speaks a lot better Spanish than you, right?
She does, thanks to her dad, not me. Obviously. I don't know. How do you say headphones?
Audífonos.
Oh, yeah, see. Mm-hmm.
Audífonos. Now,
I've heard that word before, too.
There's a bonus word that nobody, like, I've never met anybody that knows it. Like,
watch me get it.
So if you get it, you just win you'll win the prize, which is...
Oh, yay.
Oh, nothing. Colorblind.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to get that.
Yeah, nobody knows it. Colorblind se dice daltónico.
It's what?
Daltónico.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. Nope. I wouldn't have gotten that.
So I just wanted to start out with that just because I wanted to expose how terrible your Spanish is. Despite you,
I've told
despite
you
you
and
living,
several people all up in
despite
my social media that it's bad.
despite you living and being raised in a Mexican state. So it's just a shame to me.
But but we spoke mostly English in my household.
Really?
Like
Why is that?
yeah. My dad doesn't really speak Spanish. My dad understands it, but he doesn't really speak it.
Why is that?
My
Are you like
mom's the
third
only one that
generation or
really.
some shit?
My dad was born in LA, yeah, but my
Okay.
mom was born in Mexico.
Isn't that crazy?
So my
That's when this generation thing gets a little muddled up because that's what I always tell people. I was like, because everybody tells me my kids are second generation because I'm first. I'm like, so what does that make my nieces, who are my brother's daughters, but
yeah, see,
their mom's white? So doesn't make any sense.
yeah, it gets
That and I
complicated
was
because like
born here, and that brother that has those daughters, he was born in Mexico. So does that mean he's not first generation because he was born in Mexico? So that means his kids are, but they're white.
I just say that I'm Mexican and just call it a day.
Me too. I'm really not going against. I'm not going after you. I'm going after the people who start talking about the generations and the
I
generations
just
and generations.
I can't. I don't know because like I said, my mom was born in Mexico. My dad was born in East LA. So, what does that make me? Like half?
You know what it makes you? It makes you a human being.
Exactly.
Yeah. You see what a
Exactly.
great person I am when I say shit like that?
I know.
It makes me
Instead of the
feel
whole kicking a rat
that
thing.
was everyone should kick her out. Did you know
No. You're kicking Ratatouille.
Did you know that today is actually it is, isn't it? What's today? The 27th?
The 27th
It
of
is.
October.
It is. October 27th is National Kick a Rat Day.
You're such a lie.
Let's go ahead and Google that if you don't believe me.
I don't believe you.
By the time this comes out, it won't be October 27th anymore, so just mark your calendars for next year, everybody. October 27th, Kick a Rat Day. National Kick a Rat
You
Day.
know they have a throw short girl day. I think that is today where you're supposed to throw a short person or something like that. My cousin sent it to me.
Oh, yeah. So, getting thrown yet?
Nope.
See, yeah,
I've been
that's
I've
when
been
I wish I
hiding.
was there. I could totally throw you.
I've been hiding.
Then I can say that thing where you say I wouldn't trust you as far as I can throw you. Then I
Yeah.
could really make like a real judgment of whether I can trust you as much as I can throw you or not. 'Cause it's kind of a silly saying because you don't really know. Like that could mean that you do trust somebody or that you don't.
I just go off the bat, don't trust.
Yeah, you're not a very trusting person. Why is
I'm
that?
not. I have issues.
Why do you have so many issues? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about you. Let people want to know who the hell you are. What
Oh,
made you you? Let's your interest, your creativity. As you came up, you're doing your social media stuff now with a focus on your life with epilepsy, but it's obvious that you have a talent stemming in creative and shit like that. So let's start at the beginning. What makes Sam Sam? What makes you the creative person you are today?
I just always really liked art and stuff. And growing up, I had like this huge storage bucket things full of different arts and crafts. And that's what I would do every day, just a bunch of arts and crafts. And then as I got older, I went to middle school and high school. I got really into fashion. I got into the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandise. I didn't go, but I've designed a few of my own dresses. And I think
Why
that's
did
where
you
the
not
whole
go? You can't
crocheting
just brush
thing.
past that and not give us.
what what do you want to know?
Well, why did you not? Why did you not go?
I didn't go because there was some family problems, personal issues at that time going on with my younger brother, and I stayed behind to help my brother.
Oh, so he owes
And,
you in a way.
and then I ended up getting pregnant during that time.
Well, that's no excuse. People that are pregnant go to school all the time.
Well, yeah, I'm still in school right now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can't blame it on the pregnancy. You can blame it on your brother. We'll go
I'm
with
not
that.
blaming it on the pregnancy. I'm just saying like I never end up going back because I ended
When
up.
you're accepted into a school like that, is that like just a one-time acceptance and then you have to like reapply or what? How's that work?
Yeah, you're gonna have to reapply if you want to go.
And then they might not accept you the second time around.
know. I never really tried, to be honest.
Why not?
Maybe I should try.
That's what I'm saying. I've never been accepted to anything. I'm not even. I'm lucky if I'm accepted into a fucking buffet. So I don't know
I
how
was
any of this
so
works.
surprised I got accepted to the university that I did.
What kind of
Gosh.
application process does something like that have?
Um, they really wanted to see my grades from the community college, and thank goodness I had actually had good grades. So I just applied, and like a month or two later, they sent me an email saying they accepted me.
Wow, that is, you know, I did not know that about you. That's very impressive. And
Thank you.
so arts and what kind of arts and crafts were you doing then that got you? What kind of stuff got you accepted to? Like what media? I guess.
What got me accepted to FITM? That I wanted to be a stylist, but I designed my own eighth grade graduation dress. I don't know how to sew, so my mom sewed it for me. I just told her like how I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in high school, there was this fashion show at my mall, and I designed something, but I never ended up going because I was scared.
Oh man, do you think your fear of stuff has held you back a lot in your life?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I don't like failing, and if I'm not 100% confident,
Mm-hmm.
I won't even try.
You only do
What?
stuff that you know you're gonna do well at,
Yes.
but you can only get better at stuff if you fail.
Yep. That's very true. That's why I try to push myself
Wow.
past that,
Wow. I don't
past
know
the
why I'm
fear.
talking to you like I'm your fucking father or something because you're a lot older than me.
I
So I
am.
do apologize about that. But
I thought I was 27.
I know I'm 23. Um,
Oh, okay.
wow. Do you still have like your design for the dress and stuff?
I still have it in my head what it looks like and stuff. I don't know what I did to that dress or anything.
Oh, dang.
Mhm.
Describe it then.
It was roughly on the bottom. It was like a halter top, and it was connected to like a necklace where you hold everything up from the back, and it just pinned from the back. And then where all the ruffles met, there was a like a purple flower. It was pink and purple.
Oh, that sounds pretty nice. I'm trying to picture it. Which surprisingly I can. I like fashion and shit like that too.
Maybe my mom has a picture of me somewhere.
You should look for that. You should ask her.
Yeah.
Ask her right now. Just yell at her. Ah!
She's not even home.
Oh
Call
shit.
her up.
Okay. So you didn't go to that. You got accepted. What's the name of the school again?
A Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandise in LA.
Okay, and you did not go. So
I did
what?
not
So
go.
then you had your kid. So how old are we talking about? You're like 20,
I
21, something
was
like
20. I just turned 20 when I had my daughter.
that. Okay. Okay. So what happened after that?
After that, I stopped going to school and just focused on my daughter and my ex at that time.
So where along the line did you decide to start going back to school then?
Well, school has always been really important in my family. My family really pushed education. And so I always had my parents like, hey, you should be going to school, get a career, do something so you could be independent and stuff.
Okay.
And so when I was with my ex, I would go on and off for years. And then when we broke up, that's when I just like really focused and started going to school every year.
Is that something you're pushing onto your own kid?
I don't really push school onto her like that. I tell her as long as she tries, I'm good. But this girl has big dreams. So I tell her, like, if you want to accomplish that, which I think you could, you need to focus in your school.
Yeah.
Because right now
Yeah.
she's saying she wants to be a trauma surgeon.
Oh yeah, that's something you. That's yeah, you need school for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, more and more, I think, like our generation with our kids now. Because that's how I am with my daughters. It's like if you want to go to college, great, I'll support that. If you don't want to go to college, find something else to fucking do, and I'll support that. Like it's,
Yeah.
but I
I
feel
just want
like
her to try.
yeah, yeah. And I feel like back in our day, it's like it was like college or bust. You got to go to college, or else you're not doing, or else your life is going to be fucked up. And they try to kind of
Yeah.
convince us of that, and we slowly learn that. One of the things that really fucked up my life was going to college, because I still owe the shit's that called those student loans that I'm never gonna
Oh,
pay. You know, so it's just stuff like that. I feel like
yeah.
nowadays we're pushing our kids into doing something that's gonna make them happy, whether it's school or something else.
Yeah, I don't really care if she goes to school or not as far as college is concerned. But um since she wants to do that, she wants to be a trauma surgeon, she needs to go to school and she needs to focus. And I tell her just get your career and, be independent, travel the world, do all these things you won't be able to do if you were to have a family and all that. Enjoy
Yeah.
your life first.
Yep, and that's I think that's something we all should teach everybody. Like, I mean, even with my ex-wife, she was significantly younger than me, 7 years younger than me. So I always felt bad. As much disdain as I have for her, I must say that she really did not have her 20s because we were busy uh, pretending to be a happy family. I'm like, at least I was pretty much finished with my 20s by the time my daughter was born right before I turned 29 years old. So I have
Oh
all these
yeah.
cool ass memories of living by myself in the city for, almost 9 years through, pretty much my entire 20s. So I'm like, man, she missed
Yeah.
out on that shit. But
And that's what I want for my daughter. I want my daughter to experience what independence is like and what working hard is like. Because even now, like if she were to ask me for something, I tell her, I'm not just going to buy it for you. You need to go out there and work for it. You can do stuff around the house that aren't a part of your chores, or you can go work with your grandpa because her grandpa does have his own painting company. And I tell her, go ask your grandpa if you can do something and make some money because she needs to learn how to work hard.
hell yeah, hell yeah, you obligate her
Yes.
to work.
Yeah, she's not just going to get things every time she asks for something. She needs to
I'm
work
trying
hard
to.
for it because that's not how life works.
So you're cracking the whip.
Yes.
I'm trying to get a sound clip that makes you sound really terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you're a great mother. No, that's a really great thing to do. Is I don't know, how old were you like when you had your first job?
When I had my first job, I started
Hmm.
working because my mom's a real estate agent. Well, among other things that she does. When we were in school in high school, my mom was a real estate agent and I would help her with the open houses and stuff at like 16, 17 years old. So I've been kind of working, but my first official job wasn't until I was 19. It was hometown buffet.
Oh, were you a line person or a waitress?
I was the cashier.
Oh,
I was the first person you saw when you walked in through those doors.
did you have like a thing to stand on, or?
No. No.
Well, that's cool. How'd you like that?
I hated that job.
Yeah,
I hated that job so much
why is that?
because the managers were hella rude. They, at one point, they started accusing me of stealing money, and I'm not about that life.
You should have just
That's
stole the money at that point.
right. But I just end up quitting and going somewhere else.
How long were you at the job?
I want to say like a year or so.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's something, especially at that age and that kind of shitty ass treatment. I worked at a buffet, funny enough, for about a week, and I was a line person, and it was the worst job ever.
It's
And
horrible.
but then they called me from a store that it's no longer there, but it's only like 2-3 blocks away from my house. And I had applied there first, but they didn't need any help. So then I got the job at the buffet up in the city, and I hated it. And then, but like a week into it, they called me from the store, and they were like, "Hey, we actually have an opening. You want to come in and start work on Monday or whatever it was?" And I was like, "Sure." And I just stopped showing up to the other place. And they called me and asked me where I was, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I meant to tell you I quit." And I think to date, that's the only job I've ever quit. I'm not much of
No,
a quitter.
I've quit a lot of jobs.
I've been fired from a lot of jobs. I've been fired from some of the best jobs you can imagine, but
Dang. Is that it's that mouth of yours
but
that
I never quit. I have a cute mouth. I don't know what you're talking about. The only one that I wasn't fired from, I think, was DeMarco's the men's store, and that's just because we went out of business. So I
Mm,
didn't quit that either, but it was on good terms. But
that's good.
you know, we were talking about something earlier that I wrote down just because I wanted to touch on that here on the show. I was showing you, I was kind of letting you know what I was doing right before I got home and before we could get going with this. And I had to chop some wood, and some of it got wet, so I started a fire, and there was no power. And I'm like, pioneer life. You're saying you could not do the pioneer life, chopping wood and all that shit,
In my head, I want to believe that I can if I really wanted
or
to.
if you had to.
But if I had to, I would much rather not. I'm I don't do well with cold weather, and I've tried chopping wood. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a good look.
Really, how'd that go? Were you able to? Did you get? I mean, anybody can. It's all a matter of.
I mean, after a couple of tries, I was able to do it, but
It's not so much like force even. It's really
it's
just a lot of momentum and where you hit the where you hit the
where you
log.
hit it. That was the problem. I have no aim.
Oh, okay, okay, and it's surprisingly I'm surprisingly good at chopping wood, and I have good aim, despite being like super blind and slightly cross-eyed. Now, if you were cross-eyed, then that'd be perfect. But something that, yeah, I've mentioned that to you before, and I've said it a bunch of times on the other shows. You know, I like cross-eyed women.
You have the weirdest taste, but
Cross-eyed women, super short, little, little extra in the midsection.
we
You
need
know,
to find you one of these cross-eyed girls.
that's my shit. But so you much prefer like a fancier life, like a bougier life.
I wouldn't say bougie life. I would say more like convenient because I also don't want like a big old house either because I ain't trying to clean all that. I want just a comfortable life where I don't have to do extra. You
It's
know what I mean?
that's funny that you say that because that's a argument that we had multiple times back when I was married. My ex-wife always was talking about how, in a few years we should just look for a bigger house with more rooms. I was like, who the fuck's gonna clean all those rooms? Like we have three bedrooms
Exactly.
right now and we can hardly keep up. Like what the fuck? But
Exactly. I live like in a studio apartment and I'm cleaning this thing every day. I'm not trying to be cleaning a whole house every single day. The way I am, no way.
man,
So,
what's that?
so just like whatever the amount of rooms that we need, that's all. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And then each person can be responsible for that room.
Yeah.
That way, that's exactly how I feel about it. That and I would always tell her, I was like, that's it's same thing happened to my parents, and I've seen it happen to multiple people, where it's like they can finally afford that bigger house, and right as they can afford the bigger house, that's when all their kids leave, and so now it's just two old
And
people
then,
living in a giant house.
yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, see, and because that's the way it happened here. It's me and three of my brothers. At this house where I'm staying at right now, we have there's really only like I would say like two bedrooms, but there's another one that we can still use, and so we doubled up. Me and my younger brother in one room, my two older brothers in another. Then my parents were able to afford a bigger house right down the street from here, and more rooms and stuff. But at that point, we were all out of the house. They only had my little brother with them for a little bit longer. And
Yeah,
then I
see,
actually
I
moved.
don't.
I actually moved back for a little bit after, because I started going to college, and
Hmm.
so I moved back in with my folks so that I could, like, not have to pay rent and still go to college. But it didn't last long.
Yeah. And then I would also want like an older house just so I can customize it and fix it up the way I like. I wouldn't want
Oh,
a new house either.
you're not. Well, you're not one like. But what about building a house though? Then you could customize that more than
Building a
anything.
house I'll do if we can afford that. But building a house can get expensive,
Yeah,
especially now. The material is so expensive now.
yeah. I'm not looking to spend too much money.
Well,
Especially.
I know just because we converted my studio apartment, it was a garage, so
Okay.
That's the only reason why I know. It was
Yeah.
so much more expensive.
Yeah. See, the apartment I used to live at back in my 20s, I lived there. Then I moved back in with my parents. Then, but once you get that taste of freedom, man, especially when you're young like that, I was like, fuck this, and I moved back to those apartments. I lived there for another like 7, 8 years after that. So
Mm.
I love that apartment too. And I got lucky because actually my uncle owns those apartments. So once another one opened, this guy that lived there forever, he finally died. And so place was a piece of shit. So they just renovated everything and I helped them a little bit. Like they put a brand new tub in, brand new toilet, brand new flooring, brand new a lot of stuff. And so I got to move into that one. And
That's nice.
that was like that was Party Central. It was a 1 bedroom apartment. I mean, honestly, like the worst part of town, kind of crappy, but kind of run down. But ask anybody that I hung out with back then, that was the fucking place to be. Was at my apartment, sitting
Every
around,
single weekend there was a party going on.
pretty much. And the thing is, I've always hated going to parties. Are you a party person? Like, if people invite you to do shit, do you like going?
Depends on who it is.
Oh, okay. See,
Mm.
I'm not much of a party person, and so I had a group of friends that would like always be like, "Oh, there's a party in so and so's house or at so and so place. Let's go." And I was like, oh, I didn't want to. And so it was always like, "Oh, yeah, well, come over to my place instead, and we'll hang out." And we would so the party was at my place, and we'd just sit around doing stuff, drinking, smoking cigars out on the porch. It was the best time of
That
my
sounds like
life.
a chill spot.
It was awesome.
Yeah, back then I was always down for a party in my high school years and before I got pregnant, I was always down. Now as I get older, I'm just like depends on who's going, who's going to be there
Yeah.
cuz I don't want to deal with people a lot
Well,
of the time.
why don't you like dealing with people? You seem like a pretty sociable person.
I am a social person, but as I get older, I feel like I'm losing patience for BS and depending on the person, are they going to be bringing BS into my life or not?
What do you mean by BS? Give me a good example of that.
Just drama. I don't need to be involved in drama. I have enough of
Drama.
my own to be involved in your drama too.
See, that's where you and I are different. I love drama. Drama drives me.
No,
I'm just kidding. I don't look for drama, but I do live. I do feel like I thrive on negativity a lot, which is
drama just finds you, huh?
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I've still to this day I don't like parties. I mean, it's fun. It's weird because I like going out. I love hanging out with people and partying and stuff. But like, if someone's like, "Oh, come to the party," I guess I like spontaneous partying where you don't really
Oh,
expect it.
see.
And right now, honestly, at my old age, the other podcast out there, that's like my social life right now. Like that's
Oh,
when I get
see.
everybody together, and usually Friday nights is when a lot of the people that come on the show are available, and that's when we hang out. Nobody's got to work the next day, so we start drinking, and it gets good.
Yeah, yeah. That's your party. Is the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if we're getting something
Yeah.
done, then yeah, that's right. I wish I would have been podcasting back then. We had some pretty good conversations and interesting things happen at my old apartment. But
Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't really have a social life and I don't like spontaneous either because I need to know what's going to happen, what to wear.
okay.
So,
But that's why you always got to be in tip top shape, like much like you are right now.
oh,
That's something I learned from this guy that I really did not like, but I did learn this. When you go out of business at a store, you hire liquidators that come into your store and help you close down. And one of these liquidators was telling us, and he's always like, "Would you rather be the most underdressed person in the room or the most overdressed?" And he's like, "So
I'm
you just
always the
always got
most
to be,
overdressed regardless.
so you
So,
just always got to be on top of your shit. Yeah, that way it doesn't matter what
yeah,
happens. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
But I don't really like spontaneous stuff, but at the same time I like it when people push me to be spontaneous because my sister does that all the time with
Yeah,
me. Every time we hang out, she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna be at your house in 20 minutes and I have to get ready really quick." She won't even, let me know ahead of time. She'll just be like, "I'm gonna be there, be ready."
that's good.
I
See,
need I need
those are some of my best nights in my life, in my entire life, from when I was a kid to when I was a teenager, in my 20s. Uh, it was when I wasn't planning to do. Some of the worst nights of my life have been when you're just planning and planning and planning. Oh, this night we're gonna do this and this is gonna happen. It's gonna be off the hook. Fucking sucks ass. But
I
the
think
nights that
a
are
lot when
amazing.
you're planning too is the expectation. You expect things
Exactly.
to run a certain way, and when it doesn't run, you get disappointed. So when you're spontaneous, you don't expect anything. You're just there and you
Exactly.
have
And it
fun.
turns out amazing. It's like I was just gonna sit at home in my fucking underwear and watch Back to the Future. But I ended up somewhere amazing and met some pretty cool people and did some pretty cool shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think for me it's really just having someone who will push me to be like that. Like they just like, hey, I'm gonna pick you up at this time, be ready and we'll go. No for an
and
answer.
all hell's breaking loose. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And your
Cause
sister
once
does
I'm
that for
out,
you, huh?
like I'll have fun regardless.
Really? It's
Yeah.
just you got it's the getting you out part that is
Yes,
the
that's
difficult.
the hard part is
Okay.
actually getting me out of the house. Cause I'm just so used to always being home.
Yeah. Are you kind of a homebody right now?
Well, I think so, but also because I don't drive, so it's hard for me to even get out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like taking Uber at night with by myself or if I have my daughter with me.
Yeah, I
So
wouldn't either.
I don't really plan anything unless I'm with someone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. So not a homebody necessarily, but you're also not against just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of a go with the flow type of person.
Okay. Yeah. See.
Kind of. It didn't
Yeah.
really sound like it like up to this point, but yeah,
You
I'm more
kind
of
of
a
yeah.
go with the flow. I kind of,
You
you
inspect the
just
flow
I just
first.
I'm the passenger princess. Like
Yeah. But you got to inspect the flow first, and if it's good enough flow, then you go with it.
I just have to know what my thing is. I need to know what's going on so I can dress appropriately. Because is it a dress and heels type of night? Is it more casual, so jeans and heels, or is it straight out sneakers? Like I just need to know what to wear
Or like
so I,
barefoot.
so I can be comfortable.
You
That's
ever go out barefoot?
oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah. You know who was always barefoot here in where I grew up?
Where
The fucking white people always barefoot.
I can't do
Like
that.
everywhere.
I,
Like walking to the gas station, at the bottom of their feet are all blackened, and then they're like on the
no,
gravel, and it's like, how the hell? I don't
I
even
can't do.
take. I sleep with socks on.
I can't sleep with socks on, but I can't walk around my house, my own house, without socks. At least socks.
At least
Normally,
socks.
I'll have socks and slippers, but
Do you take your shoes off in the house when you walk in the house? Are you one of those
yeah,
people?
yeah.
Do you make
How
other
does that
people
work?
take off their shoes when they go and walk in your house?
No,
Because I mean, that's one of those things where like I'll respect it, but in my house, man, we always got shoes on. It's like, yeah, you never know what the
it's up
fuck's on
to
the
them if they
floor.
want to take off their shoes. I take off my shoes because I want to be comfortable.
Yeah,
So
that and my feet are always freezing.
yeah, mine
Middle of
too.
summer, and I'm just like my whole body's hot, and my feet are just ice cold. It's the worst. Well, maybe not the worst. There are worse things in life than cold feet.
Yeah, I definitely know what that. Well, I'm always cold, so it's not just my feet.
Yeah. Well, at least it's all. Yeah. See, you know what's cool about the summer is like when I'm not as fat as I am. Sometimes when I'm a little bit more flexible, I can like, or if I'm not gonna cramp up, I can kind of like sit. Fuck, what they call it? They don't call it. I don't want to get canceled. You work at a school. What do they call that now? It used to be like Native American style.
Oh, the Indian seat, but it's
You can't
crisscross
just don't say
applesauce
that.
now. Yeah,
Fucking
you
now I have
can't.
to fucking beep it out.
My bad.
I'm just kidding. You can, I'm not gonna beep
That's
that.
what it was called
But
back
that's
then.
what
I'm
it was
not
called.
saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what when we were kids. That's what they would tell us.
Yeah, but anyways,
Now it's called crisscross applesauce.
yeah, that's the one I was looking for. I knew there was the
Yeah,
less offensive version of that.
yeah.
And but
What?
to all of our Native American listeners, I do want to apologize on behalf of
I
Sam.
didn't mean it in any rude way.
But anyways, it's a hell of a way to sit because you can warm up your feet with your ass. It's really great. That was the whole point of that.
I didn't think of that, but
That was the whole point of that. But like I said, as I get older, I can do it less because I start cramping up, and yeah, it's the worst. Well,
my knees start hurting if they're bent for too long.
oh
They'll
really?
start hurting. That's the old age.
Yeah. My right knee, as soon as it starts snowing, I know, like the other day, a day or two ago when it snowed for the first time here, as soon as I woke up, I was like, I think it's snowing. And yep, sure enough, because my knee was starting to ache. But that happened to me. That's been that way since I was 16 years old. And I took this allergy medicine that I hadn't taken before, and it completely knocked me out. And I just passed the fuck out in my brother's room, my older brother's room. I was passed the fuck out on his bed, and I kind of woke up, and I was like, should go to my room. And I got up off his bed to walk across the house to my room. And as soon as I stood up, my legs just gave out, like my knees just buckled down. And that room where they stay at, it's like I don't know how to explain it. It was like an add-on to the house, and there's no I mean, we don't have a basement, but there's like crawl space under the house, but not under that part of the house. So the floor is a lot more solid. And I just go whack, just fuck up, just my right knee right into the floor. Like I couldn't stand up because of the drugs. And ever since then, my knee
That's
just
weird.
um,
Maybe were you were allergic or something, or
maybe
I don't
it
know.
might have been the heroin I injected right before also. But
Oh, see, that would
just
definitely mess you
kidding.
up.
I've actually never done heroin. Have you done heroin ever?
No,
Do you have you
I've
done?
done
What's the strongest drug you've ever done?
weed.
Oh my god.
I just tried weed and alcohol.
Yeah. Well.
I didn't like weed. It made me paranoid, and I started seeing the world like a cartoon. I did
Oh
it with
yeah.
my younger brother for the first time.
Like a cartoon. What do you mean?
Everything was like animated. It was all cartoonish, and it started freaking me out. And I just no. I told my mom this that the
Kind of
first time I
shit were
smoked
you
weed was with my
smoking?
younger brother, and she got so mad at me.
You because it was your younger brother.
Yeah, it was my younger brother, but he was already smoking weed for a while before I tried it.
But she was mad because you were like, what you think
Like
you were
I'm
leading
supposed
him
to be
into the
setting
shit?
the example. Like
Yeah,
you're the
yeah.
older sister. You're supposed to tell him not to do it, not join him.
Well, you know, how old
I'm
were
like,
you when you did
we
that?
were in high school, and I told her, I'm like, if we're gonna do it, isn't it good that we're doing it with family and not just out there in the streets? We were in the house.
But what kind of shit were
That
you
it made,
guys? What were you smoking that made you cease? Like I've never heard of something so
I don't
strong.
know because it was my brother's.
That's wild.
My brother was just like, "Hey, you want to try this?" I was like, "All right,"
Yeah,
and I tried it.
I'm not a big fan of it because I hear that a lot. A lot of people that don't like it is because they get paranoid.
Yeah,
I'm like the other end of that. Like I don't like it because I don't get anything done, and I think I have the theory that it's because I know a lot of people that use it to chill the fuck out, and I'm just always chill the fuck out anyway. So I use it and I turn into just want it, and I'm just gonna sleep all day and do nothing.
yeah,
But that's why I don't like it. So it's not really that I don't like it. I just know that I'm like if I ever want to get high, it has to be a day that I have like nothing to do, like no responsibilities that day, which is
yeah,
never. So that's why.
yeah. No, I won't. I won't do it. I could get my medical card for epilepsy though. I've had it
Oh,
before. I had it for a year.
wow. We gotta
I I
we
got,
gotta
but I
talk
just got the
about this.
edibles because I can't do the smoking either. I can't inhale, so that's
Oh
another bad thing.
gosh, I see. I've never done any of that weird shit. I like the like I don't know like joints, but like anything else, too
Yeah.
scientific. If it gets too scientific, I'm
And I
out.
don't really like the taste of it either. Like the edibles were good because it was just like
Just
snacking.
yeah, yeah. I've never had the edibles, but I hear good things. But same thing, I hear a lot of people using them for sleep and shit. I'm like, dude, I am. If there's anything I'm good at in this life is sleeping. I don't need any. I don't need any help.
Same. Napping is life, man.
It really is. I'm about ready to take a nap right now. But actually, I'm not. I'm actually feeling pretty energetic, and it's getting kind of cold in here. But you mentioned right now, your epilepsy. I wanted to do this episode with you, and it's obviously something I want to talk about, but I didn't want to focus on that for a couple of things because that's what you do on your site. If you guys want to know about Homegirl's epilepsy's journey and her stuff to cope with it, which is very educational. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm downsizing it because it's a very very good stuff. Go follow her on figuring out epilepsy on like I said on MySpace and Instagram and everything. But especially because we're, by the time this airs, especially it's going to be Epilepsy Awareness Month. So we're going to be saturating everything with all your content. We're
Yes.
here for that. So, but I wanted people to kind of get to know you
Yeah.
aside from the epilepsy stuff because there's a lot more to you than that. But let's
I
talk about it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you know, you understand the fact that I'm more than just epilepsy.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I think I've thought about this before because I think some people might think otherwise of you just because of your page, but that's what your page is focused on. We were talking about this, I think it was before we started recording. Um, my personality is not quite as dialed up because what I'm trying to do with Derail, what I'm trying to do with this podcast is more of a let's just be outrageous and try to make people laugh. So on the other side of that, you're focused on the epilepsy awareness, education, that kind of stuff. And of course, just tell us a little bit about that. I mean, it's Epilepsy Awareness Month, November, so wear purple. What are your goals? Like, what are your page's goals and your personal goals for the month?
My personal goals for as far as Epilepsy Awareness Month is just get it out there and just have people have conversations about epilepsy because it doesn't get talked about enough and there's still a lot of misunderstandings as far as like what you're supposed to do if someone were to have a seizure and stuff. And there's still a lot of people believing in certain stigmas like people with epilepsy are contagious or possessed. And I just really want people to understand what epilepsy is. And not only the fact that people have seizures, but it also has a lot of mental and emotional aspects to it. And I want people to see like my life and everything I have to go through as far as having epilepsy.
And that's something I've been just astonished to. I was reading your blog before that got eaten up by internet,
Yeah.
and just following your posts and stuff ever since I've started following you. That's exactly what you just said. I always knew of epilepsy as just people who have seizures. If someone has a seizure, it just means they have epilepsy, and it's the flashing lights and it's all that. It's very minimal thinking that we have about epilepsy, and so once you actually start educating yourself a bit, you realize how much more there is to it. Like you said, I believe you said that people that are triggered that are what's it called, photosensitive,
Photosensitive, yes.
which is the flashing lights and that kind of stuff. That's actually a small percentage. Is that right?
It's a very small percentage.
Yeah. See,
And it's not like I'm minimizing
I mean,
those
it's those people that have that
those
obviously.
people that have it
Mhm.
because I do know a lot of people who do have it, but it's only 3%. I say only because the misconception is that everyone with epilepsy are affected by lights and stuff like that. And I've said this so many times before that I can have a rave in my face, flashing lights, everything in my face, and I will not get a seizure. What will cause me to have the seizure is being out too late and not getting enough sleep the next day. So,
Yeah. See, there's a lot more triggers than I think the common person knows
yeah,
about, and I think you're working towards to where it'll become common knowledge,
that's the goal.
and
Yeah.
that way you guys can and you've started a podcast. I was a guest, an uninvited guest, just to make it clear. Nobody invited me. I kind of invited myself onto that show because I had a story to tell about epilepsy. And my whole point with that story was, I'm not going to tell it here. Go check it out on her show. But the whole point of that is you, more than likely, I would say there's a really good chance that you know somebody that has epilepsy and you have no idea.
Exactly, because 1 in 26 people will develop epilepsy in their lifetime. And if you really think about that, that's one in every classroom.
Yeah.
Classrooms are usually 30 plus kids. So one of those kids will develop epilepsy in their lifetime, if not, if they don't have it already.
Yeah. So I think that's why I think this that your project that you're doing is really important because of that. Because it's not like it's something. Again, you don't want to minimize anybody else's. Anybody else's. I don't know what to even call it. Just any issues that a person might have. You don't want to minimize that, regardless of what it is. but it is important to have that out there to get it to be a lot more normalized than what it is, and a lot more educated than what it is, just so we aren't stepping
Yeah.
on any toes, and so people are feeling a little bit more free to let us know that they have epilepsy, and really it translates to just about anything else. I mean, feel free to know that you're in a safe enough environment to let us know of anything that you might have that might affect us also. So
Yeah, and that's just really the goal, that the epilepsy community feel like they're not alone, because a lot of people, and I felt this way for 20 years, that, when you're dealing with epilepsy, you feel alone, you feel like no one understands you. And I want people to know that they're not alone, that, at least I understand what you're going through.
that's good. That's good. I really like that a lot, and I've mentioned to you before. I really like the stuff that you put out because you obviously there's like the more serious stuff and everything, but you do try to keep it as light and as entertaining as possible. And I think you're really writing that line in a good way, where your posts are just as informative as they are entertaining for the most part. So
Yeah, and I really just I try not to focus so much on the negative aspects of epilepsy, because I want to encourage people and to help people learn to accept their epilepsy. And when you focus too much on the negatives of something, it's a lot harder. It's like you're fighting an uphill battle.
yeah,
So we want to keep it positive, and show people that it can happen. You can accept your epilepsy. It's a journey. Everyone's journey is different. It took me 20 years to accept it, but it is possible.
and I love the acceptance part of it that you really try to put forth in your post. There was one post right now that you mentioned it where I believe that was a question that you posed was, hey, if you have epilepsy, when did you start accepting it? And then, you also said if you haven't accepted it, completely understandable. You'll get there. It's a journey. You said
Yeah.
it took you 20 years. It can take other people more or less. And I like that you're accepting of that. You're not like trying to force anyone to like, hey, just come out with it, you know?
No, because everyone's story is different, and some people start epilepsy earlier in life. Like I started when I was 11. Some start, when they're born. Some people start later in life when they're already adults and, already living an independent life, and then all that is taken away from them. So everyone's journey is different. We just we just got to let people know, like, it's okay if you're not where other people are. You'll get there. That's the whole point. You're going to get there eventually.
It's awesome. So just so I mean, let's go ahead and direct people obviously to your pages, but also, I mean, what can the normal person do? What do you suggest a normal ass person that doesn't know anything about epilepsy do for this month of November?
Well, if you guys want to join me and Rod and a bunch of other people who are going to be wearing purple on November 18th, you can tag me at Figuring Out Epilepsy. That would help a lot, just to get epilepsy awareness out there. And you can visit the Epilepsy Foundation online and educate yourself. You can also DM me if you have any questions.
That's good. And we'll start there, and of course, keep looking, keep educating yourself. I've actually followed a bunch of other pages uh, after yours, so it's like it's cool to see that you guys are out there, creating that awareness, and that there is actually a community.
Yes.
So I commend you on that. You're doing a really good job, really good work, and well, I'm
Thank
just glad.
you.
I'm glad I found you. I got to say that much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, let's go ahead and end the show. This show now we're ending it with the this great question. This is a terrible way to end a show, but I decided that this is how I'm ending the episodes for Roddy Radio. Go ahead and imagine a world where you're dead, and because some people pick groomsmen, or in your example, you would pick bridesmaids, and that might be difficult for some people, and it might be easier for others. But this in this instance, though, you're dead, so you're not picking groomsmen or bridesmaids. You're picking pallbearers. Who are your pallbearers? 6 people, 3 on each side. Well, you're a little shorter, maybe 2 on each side, but
Because my height is gonna matter.
Well, yeah, they
I
don't put a tiny person in a big coffin, do they?
don't know. Maybe I'm gonna need a child size one. I don't know.
Oh man, isn't that sad when you see a child-sized coffin?
That's horrible.
Yeah, like the My Girl. That was a hell of a movie. How
Yeah,
many
that's
pallbearers do you think Macaulay Culkin in My Girl had? They didn't show that part.
I don't
It was
know.
just his mom and dad.
I don't know. I don't. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, actually.
I watch it all the time, but they don't show the part where where they're carrying him in.
Maybe four.
See
At
what I
least four.
mean
I
by
would. I
how
would. I would think at least
for a
four.
little kid like that,
Yeah,
just
I
one on
would
each
think at least
corner.
four.
But for like a
Yeah.
grown ass person, I'm pretty sure it's three on each side.
Yeah, it's usually three on each
Or if
side.
it's like a real, you like how many pallbearers do you think fucking Shaq is gonna have?
Dude, he the fully needs at least eight. At least
At
eight.
least, and they
And
gotta be some big
he's gonna need a
motherfuckers.
customized like a
Yeah,
coffin and everything.
yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna. I don't want Shaq to die. But
No.
but if he dies before I die, it'll be interesting to see. But
Yeah.
you see what I mean? How this is a real terrible way to end a podcast, and
But it's an interesting way. And honestly, I wouldn't really care who
well, at
does
that
it.
point,
For
it
yeah, at
doesn't
that
really
point, like
affect you.
I'm not gonna have an opinion. But I have sent my sister and my cousin a few TikToks of them having my phone and texting everyone in my contacts, be like, "Hey, it's really dark in here,"
Oh
or
yeah, that'd
like,
be great.
I don't want something sad. I want people to remember
You
me.
want something traumatizing where we think you're fucking texting us from the grave?
Yes, I want to play a joke on you guys. I want you guys to have fun. I want it to be like a party. I don't want everyone to be all sad. Like, I understand people are going to be sad and stuff, but I don't want that. Play Selena in the background and start dancing. That's what I would want.
Yeah, they do play Selena at funerals, but just not any of the happy songs.
No, I want baile esta
They're
cumbia
gonna be
or
playing
techno
"Dreaming of You"
cumbia.
and shit. Everyone's gonna cry. It's the worst.
No, no, no. We don't need no sad songs. I want it to be like a party so you guys can remember me as I was.
Can we have
I
drugs and like hookers and shit at your funeral?
Go for it if that's what you
Hell
want.
yeah, it's gonna be badass.
Go for it. If that's what you guys want to do, go for it. I honestly don't care. I just want it to be like a fun experience and not everyone crying.
Did you ever watch that movie, Bachelor Party?
No.
Where they throw a bachelor party and they say there's drugs on the left and hookers on the right, and then they have a donkey show. Donkey snorts all the cocaine and he dies, and they put him in the elevator.
No.
It's a hell of a movie.
Sounds very interesting though.
And Tom Hanks is such a well respected actor,
He was in that movie?
and I would say that was one of his best movies.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check this movie
It's
out.
a good movie. It's a really good
I have
movie.
like a long list of movies that I still need to watch.
It's a good movie. And the only reason I discovered that one was because they do the donkey show in Clerks 2, and they say they got the idea from Bachelor Party. So I'm like, what the hell? How many movies are out there with a donkey show in it? What the hell? It's a
Interesting.
surprising amount of movies with donkey
This
shows in them.
sounds like up my alley.
You're into the donkey shows or what?
No, you're like, oh, donkey show. I need to experience this and
It's
see
one of those
this.
things that you don't want to see, but like you also don't look away. You know what I mean? I'm sorry I took it to donkey show. Anyway, pallbearers. Are you
It's
picking?
fine.
Or how many pallbearers are you picking, and who?
Uh, let's do a variety of heights. My cousin Alex, who's like 6'5", that'll be interesting. And then we can do like who's short. We can we can do my we can do my mom. She's short. She's shorter than me actually.
All right.
We'll just get a variety of heights so I can just be like wobbly.
That's what I was gonna ask. Are you gonna put like tall ones up in on the back and short ones on the front so that you're like,
Like
or
walking.
are you just gonna go all chaos and just?
Just chaos. Just absolute chaos. I don't know. My sister can be another one. My brothers. So yeah. like short and tall.
It's
You
a
can
good
just be
idea.
just all over the place.
I like that. I like that answer. And I mean, again, it's like with Shaq. I don't want you to die. I would actually be very sad if you died. But if you
Oh,
die before I do, it'd be interesting to see.
you're definitely invited to the funeral.
Episode just before this one, we said we were wondering that. What do you call that? That thing they give you? It's not an invitation or an
To the
announcement. What
funeral,
do they call it?
isn't
Yeah, like it'll have your picture and it says when you were born, when you were dead, and shit like that.
isn't it obituary or something
No,
like
well, that's in the
that? No
paper.
bio. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I know what you're talking
I'm sure
about.
there's a
I still
word for
have
it, but I don't think it's invitation. But that's what I like to call it.
it's invitation. You're invited to the funeral.
I save those. Anytime somebody dies and I have one of those, I save those and I put them on my mantle during Christmas time.
You know what would be cool if there was a rave at my funeral.
Again, if I don't want you to die, but if you die before I do,
Hell yeah.
we'll make it happen.
As long as there's some like Selena songs in there, because it wouldn't be a rave for me if there was no Selena songs.
Is
So
that they play
that's like
Selena?
my only request.
They play Selena at raves.
I don't know, but at my rave, you will.
Well, yeah, we can make it happen. We make anything
Yeah.
happen. That's the world we live in, where we can make anything. You can
Yes.
make all your dreams come true, even after life. So
Even after. Yeah.
yeah, well,
I've told this to my cousin, my daughter, my sister. Like, hey, I want it to be like one big party.
hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, I just feel bad for being excited about it, I guess.
It sounds like a blast. I
Yeah,
know.
like
With some good food too.
like I'm really looking forward to you dying, and you can't
Tortilla Grill
makes you feel really
can
bad.
cater. That's one of my favorite spots here in Lancaster.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
love
that. Aren't
Tortilla
you
Grill.
glad we're talking about this? That you have a record of this now because this is recorded,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now we'll
So whoever's in charge of my funeral, just go back to
just
this
come back to
episode and
this.
you'll know exactly what I want.
Come back to this. Hell yeah. So
Or make me seem like a mafia person. Be like, the job is done, boss.
so
That would
that
throw a
you
lot of people off too.
so that people think that you got
I got whacked.
that you got whacked.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we'll make that happen as well. Wow, this really turned. I'm like, I asked
They're
you.
like, yeah.
I asked you who your pallbearers were gonna be, and you just planned like the wildest fucking. Yeah, man.
I want it to be like that. I want people to not expect what's gonna happen at my funeral. They're gonna think it's gonna be all sad or what. No. That's how my life was. You never expect what was gonna happen with me. So
Expect the unexpected.
exactly.
Perfect. And I think that'll be the title of this episode. Um, I think that's it for now, though. I think unless you got something else to say, go ahead and plug away. Let us. I mean, we've already said it, but go ahead and do your plugs and any last words you want to tell people.
Definitely follow me all social media, figuring out epilepsy. Um yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
Well,
So awkward. I'm so awkward.
I like it. Anybody can come on the show and act like they know what they're doing. It takes some real fucking balls to come on here and be awkward.
And be a mess. Yes.
You look amazing.
Embrace
though.
the mess. That's what I gotta say. Embrace your mess.
There you go. That's perfect. That's a great way to end the show. I really appreciate you getting all dolled up the way you did, even though this is an audio only show. But everybody just rest assured that she looks incredible tonight. And we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. We'll leave the way we came in with this lovely little beat. Unless you want to like rap or anything, because I know you like rapping.
I know Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
Hit it.
Okay.
That's too slow.
I got so nervous.
Yeah, you said it. You said it. I just
Let me pull it up so I won't mess up the words.
I just accidentally hit the wrong drop is why I decided to
Right.
beat. So is that too fast for you? I don't have the intergalactic music on here, but
It's okay.
But I don't want you to give you too much because that's kind of a fast song. That Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
I'll do my favorite part. Okay.
All right, go. Is this a good enough beat for you? It's a little
Yeah.
slow, but maybe that's better.
So,
Hit it.
oh, okay. Jazz and AWOL, that's our team. Step inside the party, disrupt the whole scene. When it comes to beats, well, I'm a fiend. I like my sugar with coffee and cream. Well, I gotta keep it going, full steam. Too sweet to be sour, too nice to be mean. Well, I'm a tough guy style, I'm not too keen. Trying to change the world, I'm a plot and scheme. Mario C, like to keep it clean. Gonna shine like Ace on me. Keep on rapping, cause that's my dream. Thank Move D for sticking to the themes. Now, when it comes to envy, y'all is green. Jealous of the rhyme and the rhyme routine. Another dimension, new galaxy, intergalactic, planetary.
Oh my god. I cannot believe it. You did that.
I know, me either.
That's awesome. I love it.
I'm a shy person in reality.
I really do not believe that you're a shy person, but I think
I am.
I think we're getting to know you a lot more today, and I really appreciate you doing that. That was awesome. So
Only for you. Only for you.
I'm speechless, man, and it's hard to make me speechless. I say I have things to say about the stupidest shit, but I'm speechless right now. And so I guess this is goodbye from Roddy Radio. What's that?
I'm just glad you didn't ask me to sing.
Oh, that'll be next time. I hope there's a next time for this. We'll get you singing. We'll get some good tunes going.
Oh, good Lord.
I think that's the end for tonight, though, and we'll see you guys next time. Say goodbye.
Bye.
There we go. We'll fade it out. Wow, that was incredible. Wow.
Recording in progress.
Oh,
Got it.
Perfect. You know what else is perfect? This evening.
Why?
Because what better evening than talking to you over a Zoom?
Aw.
You know what the answer to
That's so
that is?
nice.
Talking to you in person, but it's a hell of a drive.